Hey there, howdy everybody. It's Haleigh and I'm here on Franki's Open Mic with my buddy Bob Hansen, comedian and just like all around good fun time all day, every day. How you doing, Bob?
Oh, you know me. I can't complain. Saying stuff, doing things, doing trivia in Bolivia, going to Amsterdam with a hamster man, eating chicken tenders in Denver, getting pneumonia in California. I messed that one up. Pneumonia in Arizona. Warn you from California. Leaving Dallas with malice and Sioux Falls with blue balls. You crazy cats. Good to see you.
Woo! That is how you leave Sioux Falls because it is in the below zero temperature area lately. So yeah, that is correct.
Below
Bob
zero?
Squad,
Really?
Yeah, it gets that cold. There's a nice little sheet of ice on top of everything when I try to take my dog outside right now, Bob Squad. You should be here with some ice skates and your Santa hat and doing your comedy routine on the sidewalks. I would happily film you.
It is. It's below 60 now this time of year, Fahrenheit.
It's below 60, poor you, in San Diego.
60. And yeah, and we're just struggling. We're just, I don't have the snow tires on the Venza yet, but they're coming.
Yeah, yet. You better get those on there. You don't want to be without them when you need them. For you, you're not driving in snow. You're driving in the ashes of all the wildfires is what you get to drive in.
Yeah, and you still need wipers for those.
I bet that turns into just the most beautiful color of a nice blue-gray when it mixes with the windshield wiper fluid, right? Yeah, it just becomes art on the windshield.
You know, it might rain 3 times a year. We might never have snow or ice or tornadoes, but sometimes everything burns down and the ground shakes.
Yeah, sometimes and the ground shakes. There is that.
Yeah, pick your poison, and everyone's fine otherwise. Sometimes the earth moves, LOL, into the ocean. There's nothing we can do. It's a total eclipse of the heart.
I mean, at least it's a beautiful place for you to fall into the ocean, right? Like if California just started floating around and deciding to be an island for a while, it'd be pretty chill.
I could. And you know what? The thing is about floating into the ocean, I really don't spend enough time at the beach anyway. And parking there is brutal. So I think if I can get a free ride on one of the tectonic plates, like, all right, I'll take it.
Bob Squad, now we're talking. This is a great content kind of thing, right? Now we are making plans like Batman villains. Here we go. You want to be on the beachfront more, and I want the ocean beachfront to not be so far away for me to get to from South Dakota. Now now we're gonna start. We're gonna get in cahoots with the tectonic plates somehow, and we're gonna get them to shift themselves.
This was the plot to both the first Superman movie and the Superman Returns film of 2006.
Okay, well, guess what? We're going to have our own little reboot because everybody is. We may as well get on the replay train, right? And just do our own little thing. So we're Batman villains that have infiltrated the Superman world because we're like, we want to steal that idea they had and redo it better than they did, is what we're going to do.
It's the same at the end of the day. It's the same at the beginning of the day. It might be the same at high noon for all I know, there, Daddy. I saw
it might be the same. It might be the same at 3:15 p.m. You could never tell.
There's no way of knowing. I saw the film in theaters. The new on the other fly, the Marvel comic book action movie. I saw Kraven the Hunter in theaters last night.
And was it arguably the greatest film ever made? We can argue it. Well, I'll argue with you all day, every day, just for the fun of it, Bob Squad. Okay. You know I will. Let's try to build a Bob Squad sort of. If you were to have a Marvel-verse or whatever DC comic verse villain, because you rock the fun times on your YouTube channel content. Bob's not just a comedian and not just available for the acting and the voiceovers and all the good fun stuff.
I'm sorry, Odie's,
but there is some oh, that's okay. Hello, buddy. We love to see the little fur friends.
He's my little man.
I mean, that's one of your co-hosts.
He is definitely one of the chief ranking officers of the squad, and he keeps the headquarters well guarded, so I always appreciate it. But he likes a lot of attention, so he did not want to be left out of the meeting. But I'm sorry, you were asking about a Marvel dream team up of some sort?
Yeah, the villain side of it. What's the villain plan? So we're gonna come up with something better than the old Superman plan, and we need to come up with something on brand, Bob Squad. So there has to be something with probably like pro wrestling involved. I do the spooky sauce stuff, so we got to get like a little Wednesday Addams flavor in there. If you're mixing those ingredients, what do you got? What do you got popping off in the improv brain? What do we have here?
You know what? I'll pick for the star power. You mentioned Wednesday. I'll pick what's her name? Gomez. What the hell is her name? Jenny Ortega.
I can't remember what her name is,
the one,
but
she's
yes,
in the
Wednesday. She's lovely.
She's
Wednesday.
in the Beetlejuice film. They named it
I
twice.
still haven't watched the second Beetlejuice film.
Oh, it's streaming on Max right now. I watched that 2 days ago. Arguably, greatest film ever made.
Greatest film ever made. You see, but I feel that way about the original Beetlejuice, and I'm just so afraid to be let down.
Well, that's why it's arguably. I think as far as sequels
go,
that's
why it's arguable. I see. Okay.
As far as sequels go, they did it right. They made a totally different movie that you can enjoy, and it still feels like the same universe. They did a great job with that. My villains, I mean, I'll pick Jenny Ortega as the lead for the star power and yada yada yada.
Is she okay? But is she playing villain sauce or hero sauce?
Like,
where is she? Like, she has to be the villain.
So this way she can be stone faced and do that gimmick she has the entire time where she looks pouty, and that'll never get old.
That's on brand. So let her keep it.
Do that one pouty face she does, and who knows? Maybe don't want to go straight to Joker. Everyone goes to Joker, and there's a million versions, and always causes debate. But in that place, she can do some kind of some kind of fight.
Like, Joker has a little bit of the like Hyde from Jekyll and Hyde going on in there, right? Which is also a little bit Beetlejuice vibes, kind of, right? Joker and Beetlejuice kind of inhabit that sort of trickster god element a little bit, right? So, like, if we wanted to go for a different kind of villain and not the Joker paradigm, not the trickster paradigm, and we're going for like the Wednesday, who like build this with me, Bob Squad. This is what we do. We come up with movie ideas because we're brilliant. This is and one day, like, Netflix or someone is going to see us and be like, they need to be writing for us. They're brilliant. Of course we are, and yes, you are correct. And please do call us. We would love to have a conversation.
I see no plausible reason why they wouldn't do such a thing.
I see no plausible reason why they wouldn't. I mean, we've got Wednesday Addams is going to be a villain now. I know that they did the like she's a detective, but we're going to
let her be the leader of whatever group because she's the big star. What kind of we need some muscle.
You know what we need? We need some muscle. Is exactly right. We need some very Cthulhu vibes. Like,
Brock Lesnar's not leaving the house, so he's out.
Oh, that's too bad. He's kind of he's in my neck of the woods, kind of. So
yeah, he's closer to you. Okay.
I know. So like maybe we can sweet talk him into it. Like, if we can get it real interesting, right? Why not?
I don't know. How about, Dave Bautista has slimmed down. He could be I could see him as some more of a Lex Luthor type of business musclehead of finance guy, like more of a I could see him as Lex Luthor, quite frankly. I could see Bautista as Luthor, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get him and
modern day Bautista, yeah.
So what's this tandem thing they're doing? So they're like, we could like frame them as some kind of, corporate big baddie kind of evil villain types, right? Like, because that's popular too. We could bring in some of the social politics into it, Bob, because we both love that so much.
Knockoff. I think there would be some kind of
Airbnb. So they're trying to steal the rent out your residence business out from under Airbnb and Verbo, and this is great. It's like corporate, sort of corporate villainy. I like this. So they're trying to start their own real estate renting, like they're trying to take over that and the Uber and Lyft and taxi situation. They're trying to monopolize all of it. They can do that in the same
town. I think they should have certain towns where they pretty much have their knockoff Airbnb and Uber, Lyft, and all that. The idea being that Superman is, if they've gone out of their way to offer these Airbnbs at such cheap prices and they fill it with people, Superman's not going to risk destroying killing all those people and then destroying all that property. So they're almost using. I would say they would use those folks as a shield to to protect them from Superman stopping whatever their actual other secret sciencey weapon is. I think they would do those dirt cheap, to hide. So you can use those people as a shield, so Superman couldn't get to
So we're okay. No, I get this. We're going like deep state with
There's
it.
something else. So now I just made it more complicated because now they need a different MacGuffin that they're got to make.
Inception layers going on here. So we've got they're trying to take over in this corporate, like the hospitality world, right? So they're trying to monopolize the hospitality world. But underneath it, there is, I like this, that there could be like, actually, they're trying to build some weird, they're trying to build a SpaceX spaceship to take all the like wealthy elite people off of the planet or something because they know some cataclysm is coming or they planned a cataclysm. They know they've been listening into the tectonic plates and the tectonic plates are like, we're about to shake things up real bad. You guys have no idea the things we're planning right now. Earthquakes in California floating to the ocean, nothing. We got some wild stuff ready.
Huh.
Have I just gone too far off the deep end here?
I'm having trouble seeing with the fans seeing it as bad that Batista and Jenny Ortega want to send all the billionaires to Mars. I'm having trouble. How are we going to get the people against?
Okay, so we want people.
Ortega?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Why we wouldn't care if they
I think
left.
the audience is going to go, leave the villains alone.
Like, great.
What are they doing?
Well, you know what? Maybe that's the thing all along is that the cataclysm coming is actually an underground plan, a grassroots plan from all of us humans who are done with all of that, right? And we've convinced all the elites that the tectonic plates on the planet are about to like split the planet apart and it's all going to like be destroyed. So they're planning this whole thing to leave Earth, but actually we just wanted them to go. And we're like, all right, hey, they're gone. Now we can all party proper sauce. Is this what we're doing?
Who's our hero again?
Is it still hero again? That's why we're the heroes. Because we're the ones who are creating the idea. We're like the spies in the elite, okay? We're the spies who are like Inception giving the ideas to Ortega and Batista, right? We're giving them the idea for all this stuff. And that's how we're like, hey guys, we actually got like, we're cool now. Everybody gets to be cool and be themselves and party now. Yay. We're the heroes, Bob Squad.
Do we have to act in the film?
Well, not necessarily. We could do this AI style. We could make some AI avatars because that's rockin' rad, and we could just like cameo.
I could just be an Uber guy at one point and just do that.
We could do this animated. We could go old school and do the animated.
Oh, that might be fun. I'm down for some voice acting.
Let's do the voice acting part of it. I think that's where we need to be.
Do we have enough of a team? I think with Batista as slimmed down as he is, I don't think we have enough muscle on the team. I think we need to get in some
well, who else do they need on their team of henchmen that we are having? Because there's going to be somewhere in the movie there's like someone's going to kind of start to maybe figure out a little bit what we're doing, right? Yeah. And they're starting to watch us from the inside, right? So we got to have that little element of suspense. Of course, eventually we turn them to our side, right? Because we're just so charming and lovable. They have to defect and help our cause, right? That's what has to happen.
I don't know. I think you just kind of
who else
bullies and get to the villain. I'm
thinking of modern, on the team?
Modern with the wrestlers. Drew McIntyre is a great #1 bodyguard who's in charge of shit. Do you know him?
I don't. I can certainly look up who Drew McIntyre is.
And he's I don't think there's an A in there. I think it just looks like McIntyre. Drew
McIntyre. We'll find. Oh, here we go. He's got a sword. Even
sometimes he's a sword.
We'll share. Sometimes, see now he's already ready to be the muscle. Then
he's ready. I don't think he needs the sword. Quite frankly, I think he can handle that.
Here we go. Here's Drew McIntyre, y'all. There we go. So that is this. He's a big angry guy. Okay, well, so that's on
6'7", by
brand.
the way. He's even tall. He's like 6'6", 6'7". He's a big boy.
Okay, well, but that's who you put in on your villain squad, though.
I want him as my
Like,
muscle. Yeah.
Villain squad definitely has the big dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
then-
you gotta have Roman Reigns.
You gotta have Roman Reigns. Okay.
Do you know
Now this is on
John
the.
Cena, I'm sure. You
Oh,
must
I
have
know.
seen-
Yes, John Cena. I
John
know
Cena
because
could
I
be in
love.
there. I think he could be the. He might be on a good guy's side though. I can't see him as a villain. I'd like to be like he could be like a general who's about to retire.
Who's about to retire?
Yeah.
And is called. No, he's a general who just retired, and they're calling him
Okay.
back in.
Okay,
We're
they
calling
never
him
let
back
him
in
leave.
on the good guy side. They never let him leave.
he
Just
could
when
fight a good fight
you
against
thought you were
Drew, but
out.
ultimately he should lose against Drew to make Drew more important when we help Superman beat him. But still,
No. We are Superman. We are the Superman.
Well, yeah, we can't afford that. Yeah, we'll never get the
No.
license.
We're the
for that.
Superman.
Okay.
No, we need. That's us. Bob Squad. It's Bob Squad, and
this
we
would be
are
a great
the
Bob
heroes
Squad
of this one.
origin movie. Like this is how the squad starts.
This is how the squad starts. Who's on your squad? Like,
Yeah.
hi there. I'm here with Frankie's Podcast Network. We're rocking. I do the PR. I'm kind of like face from A-Team, right?
Definitely.
I'm just a little obnoxious,
Yes.
right? That's where I'm holding that spot down. Okay, so
Yes.
now we got to build the rest of the team,
Okay,
right?
she went face from A. That I didn't see that coming. Cracked me up.
I mean, Bob Squad, you've hung out with me enough. You know that's
Yes.
that's the vibration I live in. You know,
If you
that's
forced
true.
me to pick an A-Team member, I would have said face immediately, but I didn't. You surprised me with the A-Team.
I love it. That's just on brand. Look at, we're on the same frequency.
I think all the dogs should be able to talk. The dogs should be able to talk and think, and no one should question it. It should not be a plot point at all. It should just be accepted. Like Chewbacca. Chewbacca makes a noise, and everyone pretends they understand him, and that's the gag. And it should be the same, but my dog should actually just talk.
Bob Squad.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
Yes.
Like, just let it
Pratt
just
will
be
do
in
one
there.
of them. You know it.
Yes. Okay. Now we're talking. All right. But whose team? All right. So the good guys team.
Chris Pratt will play this dog. He'll do it. You know, if you ask him.
Oh, well, who wouldn't want to? Like,
and I think Scarlett Johansson. Well, for this, her credits she'll be Scarlett Bob Hansen for these credits. But
Scarlett Bob Hansen.
The Scarlett Bob
and
Hansen
she
will play
voices. Will
She'll
play
do the voice of
Chloe.
So we got Chris Pratt and
spectacular.
Scarlett Bob Hansen playing Odie and Chloe.
I think like that's brilliant. So that's an excellent squad already that you've got.
Matthew
going
McConaughey will play me. That's terrible.
Fantastic. No, that's perfect. I love it already. And like, because you know he would love to just hang out with a bunch of anthropomorphized dogs who are just talking to him all day.
I think Woody Harrelson might be. I'll be a little older in this one because Woody's older than me, obviously. Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
I'll be a little older. Okay, good.
Woody Harrelson could be me. Leave Matthew alone. I don't have quite the twang as McConaughey, but definitely he could definitely be a brother or relative or cousin or something. He could definitely be around if he wants to be. But he's a cameo guy.
He's gonna probably like be a little bit of a like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High type character who drives
the budget
John
already
Cena
went to the cast on this whole thing. I mean, we've already between Pratt and Scarlett Bob Hansen.
Listen again, no. Bob Squad. That's why we're gonna AI animate it, right? Because we're gonna that's how we're gonna take the budget down and have the budget.
We're not even using. We're just gonna AI. We're not even use their permission or hire these people at all. Yeah.
No, we'll hire them to do the voices. That's where we'll just do the AI like avatar bots to do the animation so that it's like more cost effective.
That is a lot. No, it's 5 huge stars.
Well, guess what, Bob Squad?
Yeah.
Now this is where we just are going to have to just get, all of our fun manifestation people, find all of our witchy friends and tell them to do all the spells for us. Like, you got to have some good witchy peeps over there in San Diego. What's the witchy scene? Okay, now we've got our movie and that's all. Hey, good job. High five. Only 20 minutes in, Bob Squad, and we've already written another blockbuster film that is sure to spawn an entire new franchise, which is what we do effortlessly every time we chat.
What is it called?
What's our franchise called?
Just the first movie.
This is just the first movie, and well, now here's what we'll have to do. We're gonna call it a boomerang. I'm gonna put this boomerang up in the air, and the name of
Okay.
our movie will come to us later. But for
Okay.
now, I'm gonna take
Yeah,
a
we'll hit
hard
it.
left turn, and I'm gonna make Bob talk to me about the witchy scene over there in Cali where you're hanging out. What's up with the
Sure.
witchy vibes over in
I have
Cali?
no
What are you
idea what a
seeing?
witchy scene is. I don't know what that means.
There has to be. What? You don't got the like metaphysical, the crystal shops, the burning the sage, doing the incense, doing the. You don't have like that's not a California. Like you're just
Yeah,
strictly
we have a
vegans and stuff
neighborhood
over there.
actually, yeah, we have a neighborhood in San Diego called Ocean Beach. That definitely is. Yeah, that would be the dream catchers, the patchouli, the crystals. It's called
Yes,
Ocean Beach very cleverly because it's next to the ocean, which is next to a beach by
Ocean Beach.
definition. And I'm not kidding. Just north of it, I'm not kidding. A specific beach. They just bang out these names.
I
Uh,
Bob Squad.
yeah,
This is another thing we need to do is just take a tour
rename the beaches.
of the great and rename the beaches. We need to take a tour of your great state and all of those beach towns, and we need to rename all of those beaches.
How about resting beach face?
I love that. Put that on one of them because you
Okay.
may like the witchy scene spot. That's where you do that.
I would
So
put that maybe
Ocean
Pacific Beach.
Beach.
That's where the young people play. Resting beach face would be. They'll lead it
That's where
up.
you
It'll
would
be on
be.
all the mug because you can sell merch with that and koozies and that kind of nonsense.
I love it. I think that's
You'll buy
brilliant.
that. Yeah, yeah. I'm just giving money away right now. Yeah.
All day, every day. I mean, where are your Ouija board, charcuterie board restaurants, Bob
I
Squad?
still never
This
got
is again.
to
Now
which
we
is
need
the
to
charcuterie
go
board.
up and down the coast, right? We start in Cali and we just work our way down into Mexico, renaming beaches and popping up franchises of the Ouija board, charcuterie board shops, right? In very witchy metaphysical fashion. What are some of the things that we are going to be providing as witchy services that go with our charcuterie board food?
Oh, I
Like
guess we need some
the
salted meats.
well, you have to have salted meats for the charcuterie
I'm
boards,
wondering
sure. But what
if
kind of
the Ouija's charcuterie board, if you can contact the animal the meat came from.
Bob Squad? That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
thank you.
This
We
is
are
a
always
whole new service. You should be here all week. Let's do. You want to do like Bob Squad?
where am I
Don't tempt
going?
me to rope you into a weekly podcast. Like,
Oh
you
God.
don't tempt me to do it. You're already terrified. I know.
I only say like 6 things. I get old fast.
No, what? You're being ridiculous now. I love this
Oh
idea
yeah.
of contacting the animal the food came from. This is a service that you could start offering it like, hi, hello, I'm Haleigh, and I will be contacting the cow that gave you your steak this evening. Would anyone like to ask this cow about the kind of life it had or about its mom's name? I mean, come on. This could be like a hilarious, but also like for some of your vegan friends out there in Cali who still want to go and have a burger every once in a while because they're just, feeling it, right? And we can be like, listen,
I think
we will
our
have a nice.
locations have different definitions of vegan.
No, but this is, well, you
I don't
can't
know any
listen.
vegan
Vegan's
friends
not
of mine that are like, by the way, but sometimes when I have that burger, and they
well, maybe they're just feeling a little sinful for the day and they want to go and try it.
well,
And
and
you
you know
can
what you
go
can
and you can
call it
be
when
the
you meet
person.
those cows or the burger you're eating, you can call it a meet and greet.
Ilkay is here all week at the restaurant helping us
A
talk to
meet
our
and
dinner.
greet.
That you can meet and greet your dinner before you eat it. So instead of like saying prayers over your dinner, you're actually just contacting the animal it came from and being like, hey, I appreciate you giving your, musculature to me to consume as sustenance. And then you can make people feel better so that they're not guilted into being vegans, right? Because listen,
I don't think
little
it'll
baby
help.
lambs, you should never kill little baby lambs, but they're so delicious in Vindaloo. Like,
Yeah,
I can't help
I'm
it.
torn. At one of our shows in Ocean Beach, oddly enough, my weekly Wednesday show in Ocean Beach, a Long Story Irish Pub, Lazy River Comedy, blah blah blah. A week and a half ago, we had livestock at the show for the first time. Someone brought their goat to the show. Not their greatest of all
Okay,
time. They brought a goat.
like
We had a goat in the audience.
what size of goat are we
It
talking
was a
about?
small goat. It was not. It wasn't on a leash. It was held like
It
a
wasn't.
small buck. I mean, the goat was really not much bigger than Mr. Rhodey over here. But there was a goat in the third row. I was in mid
There was a
sentence.
goat.
I was in mid joke, and the other day I blah blah blah. Is that a goat? And it didn't happen since. But it'll probably happen again.
I mean, Bob Squad, if that's
Yeah.
not evidence to you that Ocean Beach is absolutely the witchy area of town, then somebody like that wasn't a goat, Bob Squad. That was a witch's in disguise or a witch's familiar, is what that was. That was not a farm animal. That was not a pet.
People, if the goat had a birthday, they said, yeah, it was in October, and I set them up, and I went, oh yeah, happy belated.
Happy belated. Bob Squad. See, look at this. You would be great comedy at like witchery conventions, coven meetings. Like, I'm telling you, Bob Squad, you'd be ready to go. That's what was happening. Maybe you were like secretly being like recruited. Like that goat, Bob Squad, was it. Now here's our new movie franchise again. That goat was a witch coven recruiter who's looking for comedians to join regular coven meetings to do like just a 20-minute set at the opening of coven meetings, just to get everybody in a good vibe before we start our spell work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
this is again a whole other content animated series, something or other we could. Bob Squad, I'm going to start this up. I'm going to have an episode of My Adventures of Abernathy Franklin where there's like a witch coven that regularly has comedians open their meetings, and you're going to be the comedian that comes in to open the meeting, and I will be Franki. I'll be like your PR representative or whatever, so that's why I'm there. What hijinks ensue while you are doing your comedy routine for the witch coven, which does also include some of them who are, you know, anthropomorphic, like they've changed into their goat self or whatever other animal. There's some ravens in the crowd.
I think it only matters to me if they're good laughers. I mean, if they're going to morph into things, if you could just do me a favor, morph into some hyenas, because I'm trying to do an act here.
I'm trying to do, if you could switch it up into something that like, where's them kookaburras, right?
Yeah.
Like make them funny noises and be good laughers, and then we'll all get along swimmingly.
As long as I'm just opening. Hey, if the money's right, I'll do it. You know, I
well,
don't know
they're paying you probably in like old gold doubloons and things like that. Like there's probably like when you get paid by the witch coven, you get like a little mini cutesy treasure chest full of like gold doubloons and some precious gems and like maybe a couple little bottles of glittery magic spells that you don't know what they do, but they're like, well, just have a drink of one, but make sure you don't drive afterwards. Right. And you just get to go home and figure out what happens if you take that little potion.
Oh, sweet mother. Oh, this is local? If it's local, I'm more likely to do it. I don't know if I'm going to fly.
If it's local. Okay, well, we're going to
fly
put
somewhere for some gems. We got hotels, we got rental cars here.
But Bob Squad, what if they're gems that like you go to a jeweler and one of them's worth $1 million?
Well, then wouldn't they have held on to it?
No, they're witches.
Why would they give it to me?
Because that's how they pay you. They just summon that stuff from the ether. Like they can get more. They don't need to like. They can just hand that stuff out like candy at Halloween.
These chicks are single, right? Like, all right, I'll do it.
There you go. See, yeah, of course. There's gonna be a bunch of single ladies there. Why else are they hanging out with the coven? I mean, come on.
Yeah, like we can make this work. We'll find.
We're already Bob Scott. This is great because now this is already part of the content where I, as your like talent manager person in this little content series we're doing, I'm trying to convince you to go to the witch coven thing because I'm so excited about that little treasure chest because I'm like, no, sometimes they give you, like I'm telling you, Bob Squad, last time I had somebody there, they really did have a diamond and a ruby and a couple of emeralds in there and it was like $6 million. Like we gotta go. And you're just over there and thinking I am out of my mind. It's gonna be, I'm so excited about this, Bob Squad, that I get to sit there and
$6 million ruby gem diamond thing.
It's just hanging out in the ether
next to Best Buy.
Listen, it's great. Like you get to go and do your set, and the whole thing is like after you do your set, they do the little spell thing, and you get to watch them where they call your payment in from the ether, and it'll show up, and they'll be like, "Oh, look it, the gods decided to give you this, and what?" And you have maybe there's like Maybe there's a what are the glove thing that Thanos wore,
And I'm
right?
just gonna
And that
trust
thing.
these gods with my routing number? I don't know about that.
Well, no, you're gonna. I mean, Bob Squad, you get paid in the stuff, right? Again,
Yeah.
see, this is me convincing you to go
You
as
guys
your
got a lot of
PR
promoters in the
manager.
day who are gonna pay you with exposure and pay you with a video, pay you with a time, pay you with anything but money. If they can conjure up, I don't know, where am I traveling to? If we can conjure up $2,000, maybe we can do this.
Maybe we can. Okay.
After the flight and the car and rental, that's like I'm making $300. But,
Okay, well, how about it is local? It's Ocean Beach. They happen to be having a convention. It is a week-long event, so you do have to do a set like every night. You're
every day
here
for a
all
week.
week is true, right? Yeah, so we're gonna make it true. You're
Okay, give me
here all
100 a
week.
day. I'll do it. Give me 100 a day. I'll do
I
it.
love it. All we have to do now is set up the convention, and then we can just go ahead and hire Bob Squad for it, record all of it. Now I just have to get Bob Squad. Listen, now all I got to do is get together 11 lady friends, and $2,000 for you, and like.
No, if it's local, because I'm not gonna. If it's local,
all I got. Listen, we're gonna get it figured out. We're gonna set up a whole convention just so that we can have Bob Squad be the comedian who is opening the ceremonies for our coven meeting every night. We're gonna start a whole convention just so that we can have Bob Squad for our opening comedian. I'm excited about it.
Maybe for you, I'll cut. I mean, for you, I'll cut a deal. I don't know what.
Listen,
see if the
listen. Here's the deal. You have to bring Odie along because we do love the fur friends. So you just have to bring Odie and Chloe along, and then we'll call that enough of a bonus.
Okay, good. That works.
Just throw that in. I love it. Listen, what a brilliant plan we've already come up with. See,
I'm already thinking of the logistics. Like, wait, I have to. I don't know if I want to put them on an airplane. I may have to drive.
No, we're gonna go. Well, okay, yeah. It's you want to. We're keeping it local. We're keeping it local to you.
Me? Oh, then I'll just take them. Yeah, it'll be easy.
You just bring them along.
You got to watch them when I'm on stage, though. I need that.
Okay, listen. I will totally watch them and make sure that they don't go after any of the goats or the ravens that are in the crowd. Right.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to be getting any of the witches upset that we've had the dogs fighting with their familiars. We don't need that.
Oh, yeah. I could bring an opening act too. I don't want to go up cold. I can get somebody else who's
who are you gonna bring?
And witchy. I could find somebody. I'll find another comedian who's wacky and
fun. Yes.
We could do that. Yeah, it'll work this way. I'm already thinking, how would I make this work? Like, I'm not going up cold. Somebody else do the work.
Somebody else do the work.
In terms of breaking the ice, I've broken enough ice in my 18-year journey of not really a career thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob Squad, I'll just go ahead and I'll go up before you, right? Nobody needs to know that I'm also your PR manager, right? Like, and that so like I can go up there and just. Well, listen, that's what I do is just like I love bomb and love bubble everybody in the crowd. That's my thing. So then when I start love bubbling all like you to like introduce you, they don't have to know that I'm doing that because I'm your promoter too. They can just be like, oh, that's just what she does. Right. And then I'll get them good and warmed up and happy and in good mood for you. And then I'll head backstage and hang out with the dogs and you take over and just like take it from there. Charm all the rest of the witch coven.
I can do that.
See, we have a plan and now we can go and travel and do this, right? Like get a caravan, like a couple of witchy like folks to come along with us. And we'll just travel up and down the coast doing our little witchy coven meetings and letting people buy tickets to come hang out and renaming all of the beaches.
Oh dear. Can they, are they going to be doing witch things like the whole trip? Because those are long drives. I was just thinking maybe just some radio and polite conversation.
Well, radio and polite conversation, yes, but we're going to talk about witchy things. I mean, they're not going to not tell you all about the full moon and crystals and what.
God almighty.
I mean,
yeah, that's
Bob Squad. You don't want to sit in a van full of witches and listen to them read you your zodiac and your birth chart and tell you all about your, star sign and sun rising in Aquarius and all that kind of stuff. You're not super jazzed about that kind of polite conversation.
The thing is, I am for like a limit. I have like a time limit, and then it's like I have to start making fun of stuff, and it's.
Well, nobody says you can't make fun of stuff the whole time. You're at perfect liberty to make jokes and poke fun the entire time. That's That's what you're there for.
Well, I'm sure we can make it work. I mean, maybe there's popular films we can also watch in between, like the new Beetlejuice film, which is arguably the greatest film ever made.
Well, I was gonna say if you have a whole bunch of witches for a witch coven, their watch party is gonna be like Practical Magic, Witches of Eastwick, Moonstruck, right? Like we're gonna go with the classics in the witchy realm. If we're gonna meet mermaids, anything with Cher, we're gonna watch.
Anything with Cher, well, that's fine. I could believe in life after love for a little bit. That's.
You absolutely can. Okay, there you go.
If I could turn back time, I definitely would believe in life after love. Yeah.
If I could turn back. Oh,
so many
see, now
sailors in that one.
So many sailors and lucky sailors. They got to hang out with Cher. I mean,
I'll
how
hang out
lucky
with
were
Cher.
they?
Cher's coming. I'm down.
I mean, Bob Squad, if we had a witchy convention, like that's who you want to have as your keynote speaker is Cher, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want Cher, you want Stevie Nicks. We're gonna now see here. We're gonna go ahead and have a star-studded coven for you for the movie version of our little exploits here, this little adventure. So now we're casting again. We need Cher. We need to have like Susan Sarandon in there. We do for sure need Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is incidentally going to be the one who brings the goat. She's going to have that's the one. So that's what it was. Stevie Nicks was just scouting you out. That's why the goat was in the audience for you. Bob Squad. That's Stevie Nicks was just scouting you out, and like that one. That's the one we need for all of our meetings.
Is Helen Hunt busy these days? What is she?
I sure hope not, because she needs to be in the coven 100%. Like we got to have Helen Hunt. Who else do we need?
If we can get I guess in this witchy realm we get Winona Ryder. I should not have left her out.
No, you got to have Sandra Bullock.
We got to have Sandra Bullock.
You have to have Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman would be great.
Because they're both like, you got to have them for the witchy coven. You just can't not.
It took me a second. We need Nicole Kidman. Just to introduce things, if anything else. Just to tell us.
She's your opening act.
I saw Nicole Kidman last night at the AMC movie theater when I saw Kraven the Hunter, arguably the greatest film ever made.
But see, she's your opening act. And then there you go. That's who gets all the crowd warmed up for you, is Nicole Kidman.
It would be. I wish she would do, if I could get her to do the same video, basically the same AMC movie intro thing, but for a Bob Hansen special, that would be the ultimate achievement, I think. To just kind of like
to see it.
Have her, but to have her go somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. And then it ends with Bob Hansen. He makes comedy better. And then boom, then I answer, it's like boom, done. Kidman's there.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, she just doesn't need to show up.
She can just be a hologram like Obi-Wan Kenobi and just kind of Princess Leia. Just blip in there in a hologram, introduce you, warm up the crowd, and then blip out.
That's all she needs to do.
That's all she needs to do.
People go bananas.
People go bananas. People will throw bananas. You'll catch the bananas, and we'll give them to, No, we won't give them to Obi and Chloe. They don't want bananas.
I don't think so. No, they'll munch on. They'll probably, get through the charcuterie meat in no time.
In no time whatsoever, they absolutely will. Bob Squad. Now that we have had fun for 40 minutes and I have just kept you rolling on the improv, and I do appreciate you always being such a good sport with my silly thoughts.
I try my best, Haleigh. I try my best.
Like, listen, you're such a good sport when I go off the deep end. I really do appreciate it. But tell me, what are you getting up to? What are you busy with? What do we want folks to know about Bob Hansen now that they know that you're a creative genius, right?
No, they don't know that now. I don't think I did it myself many services. What am I up to this week?
What are you up to this week besides the coven?
I got a lot going on in good old Lego My San Diego over here. This Wednesday, if you're in San Diego at the Mic Drop Comedy Club, 887A Claremont Mesa Boulevard, 92117. New gas station next door is a new manager, so definitely check them out. But no, Wednesday. That's my
favorite thing. Like, come hang out, see me do comedy, and then check out the gas station next door. And you know
that's
what?
the big one. I'm in the finals of a competition. I'm in a comedy competition. I've made it to the final round.
Where are you at? What? Tell me about this.
That's this Wednesday, the 18th, 7:30 p.m. at the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. My Instagram has a link to the thing and yada yada yada. But yeah,
it's in the description below. Y'all check it out. Push the button. Check him out. Go see Bob Squad. This is a competition that you were a part of.
Yes,
that's exciting.
I got through the first and first round and the semifinal rounds. It's our subjective performing art, and we are it's being measured quantitatively and competitively. LOL. So
this fascinates me a lot, actually. Like, no, seriously, tell me how this is working and how you're loving on this whole, like, Bob Squad. You get to like be in a competition where the measure is the laughter. Are you Sully from Monsters Inc. right now?
I never saw that. Is that good?
Arguably the greatest movie ever made.
Okay, good. Then I should check it out. It's a shame I've missed it.
It is a shame you've missed it because you're Sully right now. Like,
I mean, there's judges and they have judges and they have categories and things and yada yada. I don't know anymore. Nobody knows comedy. I've been in many comedy competitions. And
do you feel a bit like a pageant queen when you're doing the comedy in the competition setting?
Exactly like a pageant queen, yes.
Do you? Like, it changes your mindset a little bit?
Actually, it does, because you're trying to, usually I think in most stand-up, you're pleasing two masters, the audience and you. And now it's like, now instead of two, you're juggling 3 or 4 people you got to please, and at the same time. So there's always that off to the side. Okay, do people like it? Do the judges like it? The judges like it. Do the people like it? What are the judges doing? Are they looking down? Are they looking up? Yada, yada, yada. And then it starts to be, the trick can be, it does feel a little bit of a disconnect. Like you're shooting your act at the people instead of to them at times. And the trick is to not do that, or not have it at least feel like that. At least let them not notice the case.
At least let them not notice that I'm paying attention to all of it. I'm watching all of it while I'm being funny. But I love that. That's why we're on the same frequency.
It's a bit more juggling than I'm accustomed to, and it's not the normal situation for stand-up. But that's Wednesday. Thursday, back at the Comedy Store La Jolla, 916 Pearl Street. Don't park at Vaughn's.
And don't park at Vaughn's.
And all weekend.
I love it when you give all weekend, Friday, Saturday. Go check this out.
Saturday, I'm at the American Comedy Club. Friday, Saturday, opening for my man Zoltan. Also, this is downtown San Diego in the Gaslamp District. 6th Avenue and F Street, something like that. Who cares? Everyone knows where it is. American Comedy Club there. And then I'm in a bar somewhere Sunday night, probably doing 15 minutes after the host, and it's some free show. But go to the ones where we get paid more.
Yes,
contest. If you're in San Diego, go to the contest on Wednesday at Mic Drop. That's where I need you.
At Mic Drop.
That's where I need you.
That's where reinforcements must be sent. Send all reinforcements to the Mic Drop Comedy Club for Bob.
Club, Daddy. We're gonna rock and roll, strut and stroll, slamming, jamming, moving, grooving, making their body shake, their back crack, your liver quiver, your knees freeze, your spleen turn green, your bladder splatter with a hole in your heart and a pain in your pancreas. We're going to have weasels with the measles, chumps with the mumps, maybe even a fella with rubella and varicella, and he turns yellow. And let me tell you, it ain't pretty if you know what I mean. And I think that you don't. We never stop rocking, Daddy.
Bob Squad, why are you not writing? Like, I tell you what, just make videos on YouTube just for me, please, where you're just spitting out all that stuff, and that's all you do for like.
It gets old fast.
I know it doesn't, because you can just make up new ones. Like, what you're doing is writing song lyrics, and now you just need to find somebody to like DJ, mix them up, some music behind you, and then you've got now you're DJ Bob Squad.
I guess that's how you do it when you got the
whole new thing.
When you got the mode of a toad, the habit of a rabbit, and you torch the porch from the patio, Daddy-o. That's how we do it.
That's how you do it. And now you are, listen, Bob Squad, don't think I'm half kidding. Now I'm expecting you to start doing the DJ thing. DJ Bob Squad on top of the charcuterie board franchise that you're starting. All the things that every time you join me for a show, where do
I get all this meat?
Well, we're gonna have to get on the Ouija board and call in the animals that are like the most like chill and down to be eaten,
Good.
and be
They
like,
better be the
guys,
chill
where's
ones,
your
because the
meat?
ones the cows who aren't chill, those are animals you don't want beef with.
Those are animals you don't want beef with. Bob Squad. See? Do you see what I'm saying? The
And don't
comedic
get me
genius.
going on the cows in that hippie town, because we got all these dispensaries, and when you have the meats over there, that's when the stakes are high.
That's when the stakes are high, and that's how we like them in
I can milk
Ocean Beach.
this cow thing all day long.
Bob Squad. I would love to listen to you milk this cow thing all day
Perhaps
long.
on a
And
dairy
again,
basis, yes.
on a dairy basis. Bob Squad. Why are you not doing like animated silliness like
I
this?
don't
Just do
know.
little shorts with these little comedy things.
I just got puns in the oven, Haleigh. What do you want me to do? I'm like a
I
Attila
want
the
you to
pun.
take those puns out of the oven and put them on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube shorts so that I can entertain myself all day with them. That's what I'm asking you to do, Bob Squad.
You're right.
This
That's
is
a
where
lot of
you
work.
need to be
Making
at.
reels is hard work. Those my God, now I got a separate program I put the thing into, and then I'm generating my captions, and oh
Bob
my
Squad, listen.
goodness gracious.
I'm with you on that. I don't
It's a
disagree
whole
with you
thing.
on that. As your PR manager now, listen, here's what we got to do. We got to get with the witchy coven, right? And hey,
Okay.
we love this little treasure box that you have summoned from the ether for us. It's rockin' rad. Got a couple of million off of those gems. Now, what we're going to do is like, hey, we've paid a couple of people to help us out with some of this content creation so that we don't have to do quite so much of it on our own. But like, we would like to make it just a little bit magic sauce easier. Can you bring us something in the ether that helps us to like AI integrate this so that we can like kick this out just a little bit faster with like all the fun that goes with all of our silly ideas? So now we
Maybe.
just
What
need to.
exactly is ether again? That's the chemical that puts you to sleep.
It's well, sure, but it's also the like the floaty, smoky nothingness. It's the dormant quantum field. It's the like this is where I get to get spooky wooey woo and start to sound like Matthew
Oh, okay.
McConaughey just a little bit myself, which is
Well,
how
good,
we get
good.
him actually.
That's
Because I'm just too like spooky, silly, weird one day at one of the coven things that he accidentally strolls into, right? And at that coven meeting, when we bump into Matthew McConaughey and I get just a little silly sauce on all my things, that's when he says, "Oh, but I love that idea you and Bob had for the movie that you're going to make
naturally.
where you guys are the good guys and we've got Batista and we've got Wednesday Adams, we've got Ortega as the villains, right?
Does she
That's
still
how
do
we
the
get
dance?
our
Ah. I was like, she
See,
makes
this is
that's like her thing. Yeah, and then she makes like a serious pouty face, and somebody tries to say something fun to her that's because it's a movie, and then she makes a
it's a
frowny
movie.
face, and then someone else tries to lighten the mood, and she makes another frowny face. That's she'll be good
Bob
at that.
Squad, but
Yeah,
she's gonna be like already great at it. We've already got her in there.
yeah.
But when we bump into Matthew McConaughey at the coven meetings, that's when that's our in to like get the movie done. He's like, "Don't worry, I will call everybody. We'll get this made."
So when McConaughey shows up, everyone will be very happy, except for Ortega will make a frowny face, and I think Winona is just going to make that weird, wacky surprise face she's been doing for 5 years. Just that
I
whole,
love it.
she does, that she does. She'll do that gimmick, and Batista will wear a pearl necklace and a shiny suit for some reason. And John
And
Cena will start making wishes. Um, it'll
what?
work.
Okay, no, John Cena is the one who's just dressed up in like he's
He's the
got
old
the
general. But
he's
he's
the old
retired
general.
because he keeps doing all these Make-A-Wishes. He's got like the world record for all the Make-A-Wishes. He does them all like for the
Is
kids.
that like a real true thing, or
Yeah, it's
is
actually a
that
true
just him
thing.
as
No,
the
it's a true
general? And
thing.
okay, I
But
was like, are we
but the
that
general
into
in
the
the movie,
movie, or is
though,
that real?
he can also be like not holding a world record because that would be silly. But the general could just be doing that, and we take him away from that to help us with
The
the crack
general
a
retired.
Airbnb scam. Yeah.
The general retired and
Yes.
started dressing up as Batman to go do like local Make-A-Wish things as Batman,
Mm.
right? And that's how he runs into our hero gang. And they're like, "Hey, we know that you retired from like that version of service you were doing, but would you like to join us for?" And that's how we get him on our little heist team, right? That's how we
Okay.
recruit him.
Yeah, we take him away from the sick kids to help us.
Well, Bob Squad, listen, that's not how you PR spin that to make it sound good, okay? Like that's not the no. Listen, that's not how we're doing it to get the good image. You got to
That's
like
not good for the
PR spin it a
trailer.
different.
You can't put that. John
I don't
Cena
think
gets taken away from the helping
John
the sick
Cena
kids.
whisked away from making wishes come true for kids with cancer to go and do this other silly little thing that we're
We
doing.
got him.
We got him.
We nabbed him.
I mean, listen, you know what? If nothing else, it's a hilarious little like South Park would dig that storyline, actually, right? So, like, we could pitch this to the South Park guys for sure.
I don't know if they're looking for help. I think they're doing okay.
Well, they're doing okay, but they're looking for something new, something fresh, something crazy, wild, and interesting. And like, what's more crazy, wild, interesting, and funky fresh than Bob Squad and Frankie's Podcast Network and all of our brilliant franchise ideas that we have for movies and restaurants and all kinds of good, fun, silly stuff all day, every day.
I always wanted to do a set on one of those late night shows, but they don't mean anything for your career. Not for that reason. But just do one hoping that the main like A-level guest is Anne Hathaway. Because I think here's the thing, Jimmy Fallon will go along with anything. So if I'm sitting in between Fallon and Hathaway in the couch, I can get Fallon to accidentally peer pressure Hathaway into agreeing to pitch to somebody Castaway, the animated series on Netflix, where she plays the lead character who's stuck on the island, and I played the voice of the Wilson volleyball hallucination of that character.
I love it. I think that's fantastic.
I don't see why I couldn't, or at least have that clip.
I would like to play the hallucination of like a mermaid that comes up out of the water and is also having conversations with
how
Wilson.
you see on Cobra Kai, the popular Netflix streaming series based on the Karate Kid films from the 1980s and what have you.
I do remember
very
the Karate Kid films from the 1980s.
Arguably the greatest streaming television show of all time. You know how like you'll see like clips, like basically the whole thing started on one of those How I Met Your Mother episodes where the guy who played Doogie Howser, he didn't realize he met Ralph Macchio in the show, but he went on his spiel about how Johnny Lawrence was really the victim there, and the guy and the clown takes off his makeup, and it was actually William Zabka who played Johnny Lawrence, and he gave the speech. And that's how someone got the idea to have Cobra Kai on the YouTube Red thing, and then that Netflix bought that in a hurry because it was popular.
Because why wouldn't they?
So basically, for one-off goof scene that just to have William Zabka and Ralph Macchio get yelled at by Doogie Howser or whatever the hell it was, that spawned this entire Cobra Kai series, which refuses to die to this day. I think that a one-off 2-minute clip of that conversation with myself between Jimmy Fallon and Anne Hathaway could get Netflix Castaway the animated series off the ground.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
In due time, all we need to do is just wait. And after that series has become, wildly popular, that's when you're going to be in all the commercials for Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero with Cindy Crawford.
Hathaway in Castaway. It writes itself.
It writes itself. With Bob Hansen
everyone hates
as
money.
Wilson. Everyone hates just making money. That's why they're not listening.
Hate money. I don't understand it.
Don't worry. Listen, once we get all of our franchises off the ground and you're in all of the halftime Super Bowl Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero commercials with Cindy Crawford, we'll be able to look back on these episodes and say, see, we told you. We knew it the whole
Nobody
time.
listens.
We had it.
And that's when we could finally have all that money to fund Mike Tyson's Punch-Out the movie.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out the movie starring Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson, you can't replace him. You can't have somebody pretend. Like, you got to actually have Mike Tyson.
No, we got to get Mike Tyson.
I love this. This is a brilliant plan. So
this
is the thing we're working on.
That who's that Kumail guy? He was originally in Harold and Kumar. Now he's in all the comedies. He was in the Ghostbusters Frozen Afterlife. Kumail, he's got muscles now for some reason.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I have his face in my brain.
He plays Great Tiger. I don't know if I typecast him just there, but he'd be good. But he'll be a main character, though. He'll be super A-level, yeah.
He'll be a main character. He'll love it. He'll love working with us, just like Cher has always loved working with us.
Yeah, after that pitch, he'd be jumpy. He'd be over the moon.
who wouldn't be over the moon to work with us? Bob Squad, we've got all the great, brilliant ideas, and I can't wait for all of our Netflix specials and all of our animated series on the YouTubes to come out. We're doing good. We're doing great. We've made such. This has been a great board meeting. I'd like you to thank Chloe, and I'd like you to thank Odie for joining us for the board meeting. It's been great.
I will certainly thank them.
And make sure that they know that they have roles in the upcoming film, right? So, like, make sure that they're doing their little practices for their on-screen etiquette.
They can be hard
so
to
that
wrangle.
They're ready. I love it. Bob Hansen, comedian, actor, all around brilliant comedic genius. I love the improv. I so appreciate. No, I do. I appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out with me on my podcast when you know I'm a little bit crazy sauce. I do appreciate you.
You are so wacky. You're goofy. You're nutty. You're off the hook, off the wall, off the chain, under the table, under the weather, under the radar, mad cam, zany, wacky nuttiness all over the place, like a champ, like an owl, like a beast, saving trees, hugging whales, kissing hands, shaking babies. You're the greatest, Haleigh. We had a good time.
We had a great time. That is just the best outro I could ever possibly have asked for. Bob Hansen, commander of the Bod Squad. I thank you for joining me again for another episode. May you have a brilliant rest of your day.
Thanks so much. You too, Haleigh.